Hello, YouTube family. Once again, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. And this episode is dealing with Cancun Cruz, as he's being called, Ted Cruz, a senator for the state of Texas, dealing with a horrible winter reality right now. I just did a video on. And Ted Cruz, a public servant representing the people of Texas, decided that while the Senate is on recess, he and his family would head down to Cancun and catch some rays and some 85-degree weather on the beach. Ted Cruz is a atrocious person.
Is going through horrific storms, and millions of Texans have lost power, have lost heat, and have been hurting. And our family was among them. We had no heat and no power. And yesterday, my daughters asked if they could take a trip with some friends, and Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night. Dropped them off here, and now I'm headed back to Texas and back to continuing to work to try to get the power on. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, and a lot of Texans are hurting. You mean?
So Ted Cruz has told a story, altered his story. The thing is, he's a liar. I mean, Donald Trump lies a lot. Donald Trump calls people stupid names. Donald Trump's a moron. But he attached lying Ted to Ted Cruz, which fits because Ted Cruz is a constant liar. I mean, he may be a worse liar overall than Donald Trump is. And so initially he told the story that his daughter's friends wanted to get away. School was out for the week. And so he was going to fly down with his daughters, chaperone them down to Cancun, his daughters and their friends, and fly back to take care of his people. The problem is, of all the various people who shot videos of him at the airport, on the airplane, Ted Cruz was there. His wife was there with their kids. Ted Cruz has an amazingly large bag packed for a trip he's planning on taking about 3 hours to fly his daughters down there and fly back. The thing is, he was lying. You know, he had then altered his story and said he was going to fly down and come back on the weekend. And then the thing is, because Ted Cruz threw his daughter's friends under the bus, at some point, one of the parents of his daughter's friends leaked the message interchange to show everybody exactly what went on, which was Ted and his wife planned a trip down to Cancun to get away from the cold and the lack of heat and the lack of water to escape themselves. And Ted Cruz got caught in it. Then he started trying to lie his way out of it. He went on Sean Hannity's show to try and get Sean Hannity right-wing sympathy for him. I was just trying to be a good dad. Your wife can take your kids down. You're a public servant for the state that's suffering right now. You shouldn't be going. That's the whole thing that's making people upset about this. And one of the things that, bugs me, we have all these recesses for Congress. Some people talk about the recesses, some don't. But you have somebody like Ted Cruz who looks at it, because nowadays we have professional politicians. Congress is a part-time job. And when this country was started, you didn't have professional politicians. You didn't have people that looked at themselves as being a full-time politician. You had people who had farms. You had people who had jobs. You had people who served in Congress, who served as president, without paychecks, without retirement, without benefits. It was a duty. It was a public service. What they were doing was, because they were part of the small, wealthy, and educated, intelligent part of the population, they saw it as their duty to try and run the affairs of state. They had recesses so they could go back and work their farms and run their businesses and do the things they made a living from. That's why they had the recesses. Nowadays, we just have professional politicians who get paid a full-time pay for a part-time job, who get full-time benefits for a part-time job, and who look at themselves as, my job as a politician. When we're on recess, I'm on vacation. And that's the difference between when the country was started and where we've evolved to now, are these completely slimy, worthless politicians like Ted Cruz, who look at this as like, this is my job. When I'm not doing my job in Washington, I can go to Cancun and get away from the horrible weather in Texas. The problem is, he chose to run for office in Texas. He tried to run for the Republican nomination to be president of the United States in 2016. I mean, look at this guy. He's wanting to escape Texas while millions of Texans have no heat, have no water. The stores have been run through. Stores are closed. Restaurants are closed. Some of the hotels are closed because they have no heat and no water. You have people dying, around 2 to 3 dozen people dying because of freezing to death, because of lack of care during this horrible Arctic blast. Some people dying because they die of carbon monoxide poisoning because they were freezing so bad in their homes they went to the garage, started their car, and started running the heat to try and get warm and died because of the poisoning. And Cruz is trying to escape. But he just got reelected not that long ago. I mean, people reelected him. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand how in 2018, I believe it was 2018, when he barely beat Beto O'Rourke. You have Beto O'Rourke going out and raising money to help people in Texas. You have AOC from New York City, raising money for people in Texas. Beto O'Rourke and AOC in the last week have done more for the people of Texas than Ted Cruz has done in his entire life for the state of Texas. But they keep reelecting him. Come on, Texas. You know, I had a very positive experience with the state of Texas when I was in the Army, and it caused me to have a certain affinity for Texas. I've known people from Texas in the Army. Completely good people. Solid people. Why do you elect this? Why do you keep reelecting this? People in Texas need to get out on the streets the next time Ted Cruz is up for re-election. You need to be out talking to your neighbors, your family, your friends, and say, we got to get this guy out of office. If you can't vote for a Democrat, whoever's running against him, then vote for an independent, a libertarian. Vote this guy out. You've got to get it through your heads. If you keep doing the same stuff over and over, it doesn't get any better. You're not going to do the same thing over and over again and find new or different or better results. People like Ted Cruz aren't learning. They're devolving, not evolving. But Ted Cruz, you know, constantly getting lambasted right now because of this whole debacle. And he should. He deserves it. People in his state are suffering. He's a public servant. He's a damn public servant who ran for the job, who wanted the job, said he wanted the job. The thing is, all he wants is wealth and privilege. That's all he wants. And to top it off, he left his dog at home. He and his wife and his kids were going to go to Texas, enjoy warm weather with water and cocktails on the beach. And they left their family dog at home in the freezing house in the horrible temperatures in Texas with no heat, no water. I mean, the guy's just a horrible person. How can people in Texas have any respect for this guy anymore? I mean, he left his dog in the freezing house to go enjoy time on the beach. He left his constituents behind, but you would expect that from him if you know anything about Ted Cruz. But I don't get the leaving your dog behind. I mean, who does that? Who says, we're okay, the dog doesn't matter? Who says that? The guy's a horrible dude. And please, if you have friends, family in Texas, tell them, please, vote dirtbags like this out of office. There's got to be better Republicans out there than this. He's garbage. But Cancun Cruz. I'm Ted Cruz. You guys suffer. I'm going to Cancun. And he's going to lie about it. He's going to throw his daughters under the bus. He's going to throw his daughter's friends under the bus. You know, he threw his wife under the bus during the election, during the 2016 Republican nomination, Republican primary. Donald Trump called his wife ugly. Donald Trump said his dad participated in the assassination of JFK. Then Ted Cruz is phone banking for Donald Trump. Then, once Donald Trump gets into office, he's kissing Donald Trump's ass left and right. He's a lapdog for Donald Trump. I mean, I assume because Ted Cruz has become such a lapdog, such a lackey for Donald Trump, I assume Ted Cruz assumes his wife is ugly and his dad's a murderer. I mean, he can't stand up for his wife. He can't stand up for his dad. He throws his wife under the bus, throws his dad under the bus, throws his kids under the bus. He is garbage, Texas. Come on. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.